Alright, so this episode, well, these new episodes, we're just going to spend some time catching up our skill. So we're woodcutting, we have woodcutting urns. At the end of the last one, we talked about buying these potions. We're going to buying smithing, fishing, woodcutting, and mining potions. We're going to start with the woodcutting flask. So it cost us 50,000. This would give you a 5% chance, 10% chance of finding a wood spirit when cutting. Oh, we wanted the perfect. Wanted the perfect one. We bought the wrong one. Juju woodcutting flask. 50,215. So we bought the wrong one. Let's just go to the bank, see if we get some money quick. We wanted to buy the perfect potion. So just withdraw the mithril pickaxe. We'll get some money here quick. Alright, so we got 91k again. We sold a bunch of random things. So if we go to the Grand Exchange, we don't want the Juju woodcutting flask, so we bought it for this price. We just undercut it by one penny so we could maybe sell it. So we wanted to buy... Can't believe we made that mistake. So there's the regular Juju woodcutting potion, and then there's the perfect Juju woodcutting potion. So it costs a little bit more, but it's probably a little bit more worth it. So these doses last for 1 hour. So essentially, you're gonna be using this for... It's gonna take you a long time to use this. Cost 54,000 for that. Hopefully that sells while we're woodcutting, and we can get our money back, and then buy a different type of potion. So essentially, if we need more urns, we could go make some quickly, I guess. But we'll home teleport to... We could go anywhere, I guess. There's no regular trees here. Let's just go to maybe Varrock. Varrock's probably an alright place. And we need to level Firemaking, so we're also going to be leveling Firemaking while we're away, while we're rendering. So essentially, we're going to be doing woodcutting and Firemaking. We're going to try to get woodcutting to level 30, maybe Firemaking to level 30. And then this thing will just give you a 5% chance of doubling logs when cutting. And we believe it gives the other benefit too, so there'd be a 10% chance for it to send the log to the bank. So for right now, we're just going to be cutting regular trees. We use the potion, and then we get the buff. It says for 1 hour. Perfect Juju potion active. So we believe it gives both of the things, 5% chance and chance of finding a spirit. Perfect Juju, what allows you to cut 2 logs. So you get experience for cutting both of them, and then you activate the rune on the urn, teleported for 425 experience. And then you level up again, so the urns really help you, right? We just got level 16, we just go cut one more tree, and then the urn basically leveled us to 17. So that's why we have these woodcutting urns, they help so much. And then we're going to be lighting the logs, working on our Firemaking, because we do have to get that up. We could pretty much do it just by cutting everything. What are we doing? Why is this window not closing? I want to right-click the logs, use the logs on the fire to use them into a bonfire. So maybe these will be around level 30 or a little bit higher. We're going to be woodcutting for 1 hour. Alright, we're back for another clip. So we got the first episode rendered, except that the drivers crashed, so essentially we had to re-render it at 27%. Took a little bit longer. And about these flasks, we found out something about them, so we'll talk about that in a sec too. So essentially, you would want to buy both of them. You would want to buy both of them if you want to be the most efficient. Because we were wondering, because the perfect flask, we've been using it. We've used these on other characters. So we're just going to head to Draenor Village as soon as you turn to 31 woodcutting. There was a penguin here, right? There was one. You spy on the cactus if you see any penguins around. So we'd home teleport to Draenor Village. Once you turn to level 31, then you unlock the adamant hatchet, which you pretty much bought from the place, right? Oh, we could go buy, might as well just go buy a rune hatchet, right? If you're an Iron Man, you're just gonna have to get to level 50 smithing and then make yourself a rune hatchet. I don't think we're gonna have money to buy a rune pickaxe. Maybe we will after woodcutting. if we woodcut for a bit. So let's just buy a rune hatchet. So the price ranges from like 7.5k to like 28k. Just like the adamant hatchets that were 42k for some reason at some point. Instant sell price. So 10,000. That's not too bad. So we bought the adamant hatchet from the vendor. If we add the rune hatchet to the tool belt, now we have a rune hatchet. So that's gonna help out with cutting. Now if we go to train ore. So essentially the perfect juju potion, it lasts for 1 hour. We didn't read anything more about it. We will reread the things because essentially we thought that the perfect potion would have the effects of the regular potion, although it doesn't seem to be the case. So we go to Draenor here. Essentially, if you wanted a Draenor village, there is 2 oak trees here, and then there is more oak trees there if you just wanted to level here. That we haven't been burning our logs. Essentially, we've just been banking our logs because we want to burn them in Menethos. So we've got 244 oak logs. We can probably sell them for a bit of profit. But if we chop down the willow tree, so we still have 21 minutes. We took a few minutes to finish rendering the episode and then start up this one and then start recording this, so that took a bit of time, but essentially takes you like, what, 30 minutes? Probably like 30 minutes to get to level 30. So we just did fire making up until level 15. We were fire making normal logs until we got to oak logs, and then we stopped fire making. Then we just started banking them there, and then we come here. So this potion, it lasts for 1 hour, and the regular juju potion lasts for 5 minutes. I guess it lasts for 6 minutes then. It said 6 minutes, went down to 5, so maybe it's a 6-minute timer. Essentially, the perfect juju potion gives you 5% chance of doubling the logs when you cut. So when you're wood cutting logs, you have a 5% chance to cut 2 logs, and you get experience for both of them. So essentially a 5% chance to get double logs with double experience. And then the juju wood cutting potion lasts 6 minutes, I guess. So this is going to be where most of your expenses come in, I guess. 10% chance of finding a wood sprite when wood cutting. Wood sprites send harvested logs to your bank and give a chance of receiving higher leveled logs. Lasts 6 minutes. Oh, it says last 6 minutes on the bottom. So this thing's amazing. So when you actually find a wood sprite, it doesn't send 1 log to your bank. It sends multiple logs to your bank. So essentially we'll try to record that, and then we'll sit here and cut willows for a bit. Maybe we'll get to 47 wood cutting for Acadia trees. 47 for Acadia trees, which requires Menethos to be unlocked, which we have, which will give us reputation for Menethos. So essentially if we just start wood cutting there, we could earn reputation and earn wood cutting. And then when we unlock the rewards to get the increased chance of wood cutting at Menethos, make wood cutting that much faster. So it says there's a 10% chance. We should have found a sprite by now. I think we got like maybe, I'm not sure, maybe we only got like 8 logs or something. Essentially the wood cutting urn teleported and it gave us almost a level essentially. So the Acadia trees will get more experience. It says the perfect juju potion allows you to cut 2 logs, so that thing is working. It's just the other one's not working. We're just waiting for the other one to kick in, and then we'll record that quick, and then we'll end this clip, render the other episode, and then we'll come back closer to level 47 woodcutting. So we'll just we'll do woodcutting for 2 hours maybe. Maybe we'll just use this until we have used it, and then we'll not use it, and then we'll just bank. Essentially, it happened a lot more often on the oak logs. Maybe it's just a random chance. We've just been getting all these. It's supposed to automatically bank for you. But when we're done here, right, we just go to the deposit box, bank at the deposit box, just click on that, and then the window will open, and then you just right-click, deposit all willows, and then you just come cut again. Just saves opening up the bank screen. So you'd come here, and then you come more, and then you go to the bank deposit box there, and then you'd deposit, and then deposit your willow logs, and then you burn them in Menifos, so you get the Menifos reputation. So there's level 32 woodcutting. Eventually this sprite will kick in. It should. Or else that dose is going to do absolutely nothing for us, right? Juju woodcutting potion active. Maybe we'll save it until we get a higher level. We'll save it till we get to 41 woodcutting. Maybe we'll cut more logs more often, so it'll kick in more often. Here, and then somebody left a rune hatchet and the adamant hatchet on the ground, so we're not Iron Men, we could pick it up. It's like a free 10, 15k, free 15k on the ground. If you're not an Iron Man, you can take advantage of. Oh, a wood spirit appears and offers to carry your next few logs to the bank, so we finally got it. The wood spirit delivers logs straight to your bank, so we delivered 1, 2, 3. So he delivers the next few logs, 4 logs. Essentially, we didn't have to bank any of those logs. So it's pretty good for woodcutting. I wonder if it's duration. The wood spirit disappears into the bark of the tree. So does it deliver a certain amount of things, or is it, oh, here we go, the wood spirit appears and banks logs to your bank. So we've gotten that long streak of getting no spirits appearing, and then we just got 2 spirits in a row. So they did come eventually to help us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe it is timed. Maybe it is more efficient at the higher levels when you're constantly cutting logs, so it's constantly sending logs to the bank, and then it's constantly activating. So maybe we'll just we'll start using this thing at level 41. We don't have money to waste on it, although it is pretty good. We'll just use it. We can make money easily enough to buy another Juju woodcutting flask. Alright, so we're pretty much all caught up, and with the woodcutting, we're just about 45 woodcutting. So we made like 24 urns, I think, maybe 28. We didn't make too many woodcutting urns. We said we were barely going to use them. It took 2 hours to use all of these. Well, a bit less than 2 hours. A bit less than 2 hours to use all your fragile urns, and if you examine them, it says it works onto anything below woodcutting level 35 and below. The Arcadia trees require level 47, so these urns will not work on them. Essentially, we're going to have to get our crafting up if we need to and try to make some better woodcutting urns. We could look at that at some point. We're thinking probably by episode 50 we should be caught up on the character, hopefully. The strong woodcutting urn. Oh, plain woodcutting urn. It's only level 44. You'd have to get your crafting up to level 44, and then you could make a better woodcutting urn, and then you just essentially make that. Come back to woodcutting. We're just going to be woodcutting until this potion's not active anymore. Just the one that has a chance to summon that spirit that automatically banks them for you. So that's pretty good. Less than 2 hours, 45 woodcutting. We just need to get 2 woodcutting levels to be able to cut the better trees. Essentially, they should be better even after we do the Menifos things. Oh, and if it's 2:30, the Rune Spear would be spawned there. We could do the Rune Spear too then if it just spawned. Because we know that the Rune Spear was going to spawn at 5 o'clock. But if it's 2:30, we could pretty much go there and do that. So as soon as this potion runs out, we'll end this episode. So these things, they last 6 minutes. It'll cost you like 100,000 or 90,000 per hour to use these potions just to give you the banking ability. But it definitely is worth it. I mean, being able to sit there and just have them chopped and then them going straight to the bank allows you to sit there and chop more trees for longer. And then whatever you're doing, pretty much the profit per hour should outweigh the potions. The potions, they cost money, but you make more profit per hour back from it anyways. All the extra profit that you make pretty much pays for the potion. There's no reason not to use it. It just gives you a way better. Oh, the thing activated. See, it's just amazing. You just sit here, your inventory doesn't fill up. Usually our woodcutting urns would be filling up, but we're pretty much done with woodcutting. Oh, we don't have any urns, so that potion wore off. The wood spirit delivers. We'll just wait until he's done delivering things to the bank. And then we're going to do a couple quests probably, since we're basically caught up. And then we'll have to do some fishing. Essentially, we just want to get these caught up before the end of the day, so when the day starts tomorrow. And we want to do Beneath Cursed Tides. We need level 30 firemaking, 30 cooking, 30 attack, and 30 strength. We could get those from the waterfall quest. That we could get from the cooking quest. Firemaking, we could just level up firemaking and Menaphos with the oak logs that we have cut. So essentially, the hourly potion is not too much of a deal. If you waste that, it's not wasting too much. I mean, it costs you like 10k per hour to use that potion. It's really cheap anyways. So I wouldn't be worried about doing something in between. And we're probably not going to be doing woodcutting until we get that. But if we go home, teleport, we'll just end in Menaphos. So we're all done with those. Maybe we could do obelisks or something. Or we should do quests. We know we're going to be doing obelisks in Menaphos. Essentially, for Menaphos, every single day you'd want to do the obelisks as much until it tells you that you cannot do obelisks anymore. And then, yeah, same for these scarabs, I guess. Do the scarabs for a little bit, because they give really, really good reputation for the first little bit. And then they stop giving good reputation. And the scarabs give you pure gold as well when you kill them. You just have to make sure you have enough food. So we gotta make sure we have lobsters to feed the soul obelisk and feed these scarabs. So we're gonna have to buy some more food probably. Let's just buy some more food here. Since we're gonna need to do that. We sold willow logs just because we know we were going to be cutting extra willow logs. Willow logs have crashed. They were like 330 on our last character when we were doing it. Or maybe 2 characters ago. But let's just buy a lobster. And then we won't do anything else. This is just purely the woodcutting one. So we'll just buy like see if we can buy 400 lobsters. Or we don't need that many. I mean, 250 will be fine. We still have 110 from before. As long as we could buy those. Oh, we can't buy them. So food price has gone up. I think the price of everything's gone up just because archaeology. Which is why at one point we should go back to archaeology, because then we could just farm the materials, sell the materials, and then make bank, which we probably should do at some point in this series. Because the main point of this series is that we want something that you could do even without the new skill, because pretty much you're gonna be like, we're farming archaeology and we can't make millions and millions per hour like you. So all this is preparing up to before that or something. So we got food here.